Good morning, everyone. I hope you're doing well. I know you're quarantined at home, and so am I. Don't let the white shirt fool you. I have pajamas down below. And this is the Daily Huddle. We're broadcasting live from Atlanta, Georgia, the home of the busiest and most efficient airport in the world, the Daily Huddle. This is episode number 4. We're dedicated as a conversation for 30 minutes to give you what you need, deal powerfully with your circumstances, make better decisions, and get better results. I am one of your hosts. My name is Saurel Quettan, and my partner, Giovanni Gonzalez.
Good morning. Good morning. I am so excited. I'm having a little bit of a technical issues here, but just really excited to be part of the Daily Huddle every morning and having us have a conversation that comes at different angles to empower people in their lives, in the circumstances that they're in, whether it is at work or whether it's at home, whether it's being a teacher to their children. The whole new way of looking at life and being able to do that transition, a powerful transition. That's what the Daily Huddle is about. I'm truly excited about today's conversation about what's important. And so go ahead, Saurel, take it away.
Yeah. Well, Larissa, welcome. Jahim, it's great to have you here. And the way the Daily Huddle goes is we invite a special guest to have a conversation with us and with the world. And today's special guest is really special to me. Today's special guest is Susan Quettan. Susan and I have been married for over 33 years. And I want the world to know I'm the luckiest man in the world. She's my business partner. She is my confidant. And she is the one who's going to explore with us today a very important question. And the question is, what is important to you? What's important? And what are you doing to make it your business to have what's important to you be what your daily life is all about? So Susan, thank you so much for being on the Daily Huddle. I love you and I can't wait to hear how you create today with us. So welcome and introduce yourself.
Well, good morning, everyone. As Saurel said, we have been married for 34 years. We have 3 amazing kids, and we also are business partners. And in the midst of what's going on in the country right now, I have been reflecting. So what's important to me right now? And inquiry have been quite interesting. And one of the things that has been showing up over the last few days around this inquiry for me, it's what are the memories I want to leave my family, my kids, and my employees with. It isn't about what can I gather, what material things can I accumulate, but the memories, being able to look back at my life and smile, like the road stories Saurel and I have that no one else in the world will ever know about. Those bring joy to your heart, right? And in the world of having buried parents, the things I remember most is the fun little things we did. So in that inquiry for me, it's all about the emotional connection that I have with people. And like Maya Angelou said, people will forget what you do, people will forget what you said, but people will never forget how you make them feel. They're loved and appreciated.
And I'm one of the primary beneficiaries of that commitment, and I am loved and appreciated. in your world, Susan. The world that you create is just phenomenal. And I know our viewers don't know you so well. You actually are the CEO of two major companies. And I know that that philosophy that you bring to life, all appreciated, extends way beyond just the family. Can you take a moment and tell the world about your philosophy as a CEO, perhaps not so much from a business standpoint, but really from this human perspective that you're bringing to the space? How does what's important to you spill over into how you run and manage your business?
How does that spill into the business? For example, given the conditions that we are living under right now, it's important to me that our employees continue to live. They have rent, they have food and car notes. I continue to take care of them and keep them employed. So as an employer, job one, do whatever I need to do to keep the business alive during these difficult times and keep my employees employed. Now, it means not always offering them 40 hours a week, but ensuring that they at least get 3 days a week. And sometimes I even pay them for 40 hours, even though they didn't work 40 hours. So it's doing as much as you can to ensure that the employee well-being and income continues to flow. Now, in addition to that, I look at this week with the uncertainty, are we going to shut down this week? Instead of paying them on Friday, I paid them yesterday. It's like, guys, here is your salary early, give you the opportunity to go to the grocery store, get the supplies you need, just in case we're shut down. Because as a country and as a state, it seems to be a day-by-day decision if we are going to be required to stay at home or not. So it's being able to think about not just myself and my family, but the livelihood and the well-being of all of our employees, being a contributor to them.
And what's driving you is what's important to you. Now, in creating what you created earlier, while you spoke about what's important to you, if you could say in one or two sentences your personal answer to the question, what's important to Susan, what would you say?
What would I say? Creating emotional relationships with people. So who I have been in the past is do. Get things done. I haven't stopped to really be connected emotionally with my family, with you, because we've always been busy working and trying to get to the next level and take care of others. But in the world of what's important to me, what I've done this week is that I have reached out to family members who I haven't talked to in decades, just to check on them and see how they're doing. And I called a cousin in New York, hey, how are you doing? I know you live in New York. And then she said to me, oh, by the way, we're all sick. The entire family has the coronavirus. And it made it real. Instead of hearing it on the news from someone who I love and grew up with. So now I have been checking in with her daily, see how her husband is doing, see how she's doing. I know I've reached out to another cousin, just sending love. Hey, I'm sending love your way in the midst of what's going on. So now I'm finding myself longing for connection with people and creating memories there. Hey, I love you for no reason. You know, my aunt in Trinidad turned 60. I called one of my cousins saying, hey, I'm going to send you some money. Celebrate her 60th birthday. And being able to take care of people that way, and make friends, and ensuring that the people I love and are connected to have what it takes so that they can survive the difficult times that we are facing. So it's not just talking, but being generous with the blessings that we have as a business owner to ensure that everyone can eat, pay their rent, and continue to live through this difficult time.
Yeah, and that's what's important to you,
Yes.
and that's what's important to me. You know, I made a promise a long time ago that whatever's important to you would be important to me, and the way you create what's important to you makes it easy for me to keep that promise. So I really thank you for who you are in the world, who you are for our companies, and who you are for our family. And I'm sure the rest of the people on this call, especially Giovanni, want to get to know you better. And one of the ways they get to do is by asking you questions about you, about what's important to you, and about who you are as a CEO of two thriving businesses. So, Giovanni.
Yeah, thank you. So, Susan, thank you for being on the Daily Huddle. I was, as I was listening to the what you guys were creating, I was thinking, um, isn't the aspect of what's important to you? It's like before the virus, before all the conversation, it was like the right thing to say. I mean, like if I stopped anyone at any moment, they would say, well, what's important to me is my family and being able to connect with them, right? And then lately, it has for most people, right? For most of us, it has gone from the right thing to do from actually their actual experience, and it's lasting. It's not like that moment, right? And so I was wondering when, you know, when Saurel and you were talking about the Daily Huddle, and you know, you're a very accomplished woman. You have a beautiful story to share. But I was wondering, what had it show up that the question that what's important to you was one that you, like, of all the things that you can talk about, right? This was the one that you were like, you know, I want to talk about what's important to you, right? And having said that, also I do want to acknowledge you for leading the way on how to think in these difficult times for not just obviously for your family, but also for the people that you work with and that work for you. It's just I wish that we can send this to as many people as possible so that they could see it that way as well. And so anyway, I wanted to say that. So to tell you the question again, because I went on and on, the question is, I wonder what had it be for you that said, you know, I want to talk about what's important to you. And then later I want to open that up for everybody who's listening.
Okay, if I get this virus and I die, what do I want to be remembered for? So to quote Bob Marley, he said, don't live for your present to be noticed, but live for your absent to be felt. So
Wow.
how would my absent be felt? What do I want to be said at my funeral? What difference have I made in the world for the people that I have touched? And in that inquiry, I started really looking If I am to die tomorrow, what do I want to be known for? And then the things that are really important showed up. And I got present to how emotionally disconnected I have been to people for the world of reasons. And I can list a whole lot of them, which makes no difference.
Mm.
So then I said to Saurel, I said, Saurel, what I miss more than anything else is being emotionally connected to human beings.
Mm. I don't even know how to do it anymore, you know?
I don't know how to do it either, but it's just being present to a want that I didn't know I had. It was one of those things, is tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow. And now it's stopping and going, wait a minute. I call my kids every day now. Hey, how are you doing? Just want to say I love you. Don't need anything. Do you have toilet paper? Do you have food? I went to the grocery store and we have food to feed a family probably for 6 months. It's like, yeah, just in case the kids need something, I have some that I can share. I talked to my cousin in New York and she said, you know, as strange as it sounds, we don't have a lot of toilet paper. And I said, you know what, I have enough. That if you're ever in need, let me know. I'll ship some toilet paper to you. Now, prior to this, I was too busy. I don't have time to reach out to people. So it's being really able to cherish the time we have here on earth. And I look back at some of my experiences with my dad, and he went to Barbados on vacation when I was a child, and he brought me back this shell bracelet. And at the time, I'm like, that's all they're gonna bring me, right? That was my reaction. And now it's the one thing that I cherish from my dad. I actually still have it.
Emotional connection.
And it's just like, wow, he thought enough about me to bring me something back that I still hold on to for maybe 40 years. But at the moment, it was, I had no gratitude for it. Now it's the closest thing I have from my dad.
Mm. You know, something I'm present as you're sharing is that, you know, when I said I don't even know how to be emotionally connected anymore, I meant it. Because right now I have been operating as, how could I be of value for people? How could I say the right things? How could I express hope for people? How do I even give the right strategy in the midst of, in a business that, in the current business environment? And none of that is about being emotionally connected. And so, so I was just really like, wow. Anyway, I wanted to say that. Go ahead, Saurel.
Susan, thank you for bringing that perspective. And what's right there for me is this, right? In a moment of trauma, you know, people physically can do phenomenal things, you know, like in a fire, you'll run into the fire and save somebody. In a car accident, you'll lift a car in a moment of, you know, amazing adrenaline rush and do physical feats that are usually impossible. In this time, there is that kind of thing going on for people. So what's bubbling in my head is, when we go past this, what would you say, Susan, is an effective way to keep what got created during this period present? So you say, I miss being emotionally connected to people, and you're creating what you need to be emotionally connected. So beyond this period, how do you see your life unfolding to actually keep that connection alive? Not so much the physical connection, but the being that you've created?
It's by sharing it. And they will continue to share it with others and keep it alive. As we say in the wisdom course, you add membership, keep adding membership. The more I share it, the more connected I become to what I've created. So keep sharing it. And there are times I'm going to forget it. But the more I share it, the more people around me will remind me of what I say is important to me. Not keeping it to myself like I have done in monologue, but keeping it alive in dialogue.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
You know, like I hear, remind me that I love you, you know?
Yeah.
Remind me that I love you. Yeah, that's so great, because we will forget. Remind me that I love you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, on that note, I want to open it up to Ana Laura, Adriana, everyone who's on here participating, creating this wonderful conversation with us. Questions, comments you want to make, Fabiola, Fabienne, the floor is open. If you're speaking, go off mute. If you're not speaking, stay on mute. Everyone's shy this morning.
Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Ronald.
Good morning, Ronald.
Okay. I wanted to take time to actually, to thank you guys for the great work you guys are doing here, especially Saurel and Giovanni. For one, I just want to really bring integrity to this space. I got present the other day. There was a call that I actually unmute myself by mistake. So I want to make sure that I bring that to space. So, don't step over it, because I kind of really kind of shake up the space that you guys were creating, which was a very marvelous space. I was in the listening mode, and that happened. So I didn't want to step over that and clean that up, to start with that. But going forward, what I am seeing out of this event, this current event, is really a space to recreate, constantly recreate, and really check integrity in every aspect. Self integrity before the whole thing, before we move forward. Really staying to the dialogue that Susan just mentioned. Really remain in the dialogue and engage people in the dialogue constantly, and this fresh of breath air that you guys bringing in the morning, it's really like a splash to really get everyone out of their head and just be with what we're dealing on a daily basis. There's a lot of things that's happening. There's a lot of scare that's happening, and the only way we can really be on top of that is actually be present. That yes, okay, I didn't used to wash my hand all the time. I didn't used to do this all the time. It's just like be present to it and accept it as what it calls for, and look at the change that is creating in our lives. I mean, there's the basic of it is probably a learning ground to learn how to accept change, and change is really what grows us. So thank you guys for this.
It's awesome to see you, man. And I want to know one thing.
Go ahead, bro.
What's important to you, brother?
What's really important for me now is, full integrity in what I am committed for, and really keep moving things in the direction that don't look back. I mean, like, not small thing, just keep moving things forward. Don't, stay along in moving things that doesn't need to be moved. So that's what's in my plan right now.
That's great. That's great. Ronald, thank you for being here. Thank you for creating and being the space of integrity. All right. Thank you for that. And Giovanni, something just came to mind as I'm speaking to Ronald and as Susan's speaking. Susan created what's important to her so beautifully that I think during the last 6 or 5 minutes of this conversation, we could really create it as a celebration of what's important to each of us. So I'm requesting that you go off mute one by one and simply say one sentence. This is what's important to me. And what's important to me is being the space, like I'm the space and the commitment in the world that people's commitment to make a difference gets time to be practicing being that in the world. So I thank you for being an audience for the Daily Huddle. And Susan, I thank you for being a guest. So I open it up now. Maria, you go ahead and kick it off. What's important to you?
Okay, so my name is Maria Sangria, and what's important to me is the essence of forgiveness, because I say that when we really forgive ourselves and another person, that's where the healing happens. And I discovered that a way to do that would be to really say to myself and others that I give up the right to hold this against myself and others ever again in thoughts, words, and actions for as long as I live and into infinity, forever and ever. And so what's important to me is that we can do that for ourselves and each other. And what will emerge is a world of celebration. And I'm from New Orleans, and in New Orleans, we say, until further notice, celebrate everything. So thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Saurel. Thank you, Gio. Thank you, Susan. And thank you for everyone on this calls. These calls have been very uplifting and enriching for me. So I just want you to know I'm deeply grateful.
Thank you.
Welcome. You're welcome, Maria.
Thank you. And Saurel, for the sake of time, when you say what's important to you, you don't have to say why. Because when Maria said the essence of forgiveness, I got it all. I totally got it all.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Adriana. What's important to you?
What is important for me now is to stay alive and have my family well kept and knowing that my friends are fine. That's important.
I got that. I got stay alive. I got that. Thank you, Adriana. Okay, so let's go down the list. Andrea, what's important to you?
For me, my family, my employees, and every single thing that we're doing that we never have time to do it before, like little details at home.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you, Andrea. Lorna, what's important to you?
Okay, I'm sorry about that. Okay, what's important to me is love for God, love for my family, love for my community. And also, I do want to say this, that is very important for us to remember that our action, whether it's big or small or inaction, can affect the world.
I got that. Thank you, Lorna. Love. Fabian, what's important to you?
Really what's important to me is peace of mind and staying optimistic.
Thank you. I got that. Peace of mind and staying optimistic. Jahim Sean Noel, what's important to you?
Jahim, are you there?
Jahim didn't know we were going to call him out. Ana Laura, what is important to you?
Hi, good morning, everyone. What's important to me is being present at all times.
Thank you, Ana.
Awesome. Giovanni, it is 9:30.
We only have two there. We only have two. We only have two. Nancy, what's important to you? We can't hear you, Nancy. But we know what's important to you. And then Fabiola, what's important to you?
My family and staying sane with all the kids in the house, homeschooling.
Awesome, awesome.
Thank you so much. Jahim said, having microphone issues, but what is important to me is happiness and comfort of my family. Thank you all for sharing. What's important to me is what, and I just got what Susan was saying. What's important to me is something I never do, is emotional connection with those that I'm in touch with in my life, and that's a lot of people. Go ahead, Saurel.
Awesome. Well, it's 9:31. We want to close, but we always close with the last word from our guest. So, and would you please say the last word?
Remember this, always think of happy thoughts. When the brain starts to wander into the what if and gets scared, think of something new. Think of any moment or a moment you loved, and that will automatically change the experience you're dealing with in the moment. On that note, have a safe day. Love you all, and talk to you next time.
Awesome. This is the Daily Huddle.
Thank you.
30-minute conversation that happens every day. Welcome to it Monday through Friday on the Daily Huddle. Thank you for being here. Have an awesome day, everyone.
Thank you, Saurel.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you, Saurel. Thank you, everyone. I love you. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Adriana, bye-bye.
Yo no sé cómo desconectarme, siempre pasa eso.
That's okay.